In the last decade, one supermarket has rewritten the history of retail across Africa: Carrefour. From Nairobi to Kampala, Lagos to Casablanca, the brand has risen with immense speed, capturing millions of shoppers and redefining what a modern supermarket looks like.
Karibu. Welcome to Carrefour, Kenya. Welcome to a unique shopping experience where you have ease of access to products, seamless movement through aisles, and easy view of gondolas. We have implemented a unique area catering for affordable feature phones that range from as low as $2.5. We are the only retailer with over 90 phone models.
But behind the bright aisles, the clean layouts, and the world-class service lies a long, detailed story. A story of strategy, global partnership, aggressive expansion, competition, legal battles, and the tough lessons learned in Africa's unpredictable retail environment. The story of Carrefour begins in France, 1960. At the time, Europe was recovering from post-war economics and new retail models were emerging. Carrefour founded the first hypermarket, a store combining groceries, electronics, and household items under one roof. By the 1970s, Carrefour exploded across Europe. By the 1990s, it had become the second largest retailer in the world, expanding into Asia, Latin America, and the Middle East. But Africa was a different challenge, untapped, unpredictable, and dominated by local supermarket chains. Carrefour entered Africa through a partnership with Majid Al Futtaim, a giant retail conglomerate based in Dubai. Majid Al Futtaim became the official franchise holder of Carrefour in the Middle East, Asia, and Africa. Their strategy: choose regions with growing middle classes, rising urbanization, and weak retail competition. By early 2000s, Majid Al Futtaim had opened Carrefour stores in Egypt and Morocco, slowly expanding into North Africa. East Africa was the next major target. Kenya, with its strong economic and rapidly growing consumer base, became the main entry point. But entering Kenya meant taking big names like Nakumatt, Tuskys, Uchumi, Naivas, Quickmart, and regional players including Sashimi and Clean Shelf. Still, Majid Al Futtaim saw an opportunity. Kenya's retail sector was suffering from poor management, debt crisis, supplier disputes, and outdated systems. By the year 2016, Kenya's giant Nakumatt was sinking under billions in debt. Their shelves were empty, suppliers were fleeing. Carrefour saw an unbelievable opening. As Nakumatt closed branches, Carrefour quickly stepped in to occupy the same spaces. Their first store opened at Karen Hub, immediately shocking customers with its organization's stock, variety, and international freshness standards. As Nakumatt collapsed, Carrefour took its location to Thika Road Mall, to Rivers, Sarit Center, Junction Mall, and more, transforming abandoned spaces into modern retail engines.
Still in Nairobi, competition in the country's retail space is set to heighten as retailers continue to woo shoppers residing in the city. Carrefour becomes the latest retailer to expand its footprint in Nairobi with the opening of a new store at the mall in Westlands. Operated by Majid Al Futtaim, the retailer now has 27 stores in Kenya, reinforcing its presence in the country. The new outlet is expected to create more than 45 direct jobs, adding to the company's current workforce of over 2,800 employees in Kenya.
Carrefour became popular for multiple reasons. First was pricing. They introduced competitive pricing, weekly discounts, and genuine deals, something many Kenyans had never seen in supermarkets before. Second was freshness. Their bakery, butchery, produce section, and hygiene standards were unmatched. Customers trusted them instantly. Third was technology. From digital loyalty cards to automated stock systems, unlike older supermarkets that relied on manual operations, Carrefour used real-time inventory systems. Finally, Carrefour treated suppliers differently, prompting payments, transparent terms, and no bullying tactics. Their results: Kenyans flocked to Carrefour, leaving behind older supermarkets with questionable reputations. The My Club loyalty program changed the shopping experience. Customers earned points, received personal discounts, and enjoyed weekly promotions that felt genuine. This was a new era. For the first time, customers felt rewarded for spending. As Carrefour expanded, Kenyan supermarkets began restructuring. Naivas upgraded stores and updated layouts. Quickmart launched 24-hour stores and expanded aggressively. But the biggest casualty remained Tuskys, which collapsed soon after Nakumatt. Carrefour filled the void by these giants, becoming a symbol of modernization in Kenya's retail sector. Despite the success, Carrefour faced criticism. Some Kenyan suppliers complained that the supermarket was favoring international products over local ones. There were accusations of unfair supplier contracts, though Carrefour denied this, stating that they followed international standards of transparency.
Stay out of our business. It is more complex than you are making it out to be. And worse still, you are imposing unreasonable penalties. Well, this is the gist of the message the Retail Association of Kenya, RETRAC, has fired at the Competition Authority of Kenya following the 1.1 billion shilling fine it has imposed on retail chain Carrefour, owned by Majid Al Futem. The retailer's umbrella body has faulted the CAK for making a decision that has further-reaching implications than necessary. The statement by RETRAC reads on part, and I quote, "We urge for a comprehensive consideration of the dynamics involved, including utilizing dispute resolution mechanisms that are embedded in the contracts." The association further argues that the CAK's decision goes against the best interests of Kenyans. It says, quote, "The sanctity of the freely agreed upon and signed contracts between suppliers and retailers needs to be always upheld. It must be noted that the negotiations are meant to guarantee the lowest possible prices for the benefits of the Kenyan customers." 1.1 billion shilling figure has unsettled the retailers, as the statement continues to say, quote, "We are troubled by the prospect of very punitive penalties being imposed on one of the retailers. Such measures can have far-reaching consequences, not only for the affected retailer, but also for the industry as a whole." And it adds that it encourages a thoughtful review of the potential impact of these sanctions on the retail ecosystem. The latest is the unfolding situation where the regulator has slapped the retailer with not only the 1.1 billion shilling fine for abusing its superior bargaining power, but has also ordered it to refund, that's the Carrefour, more than 17 million shillings.
In the year 2021, the Competition Authority of Kenya fined Carrefour over clauses that alleged disadvantaged suppliers. The fine created intense debate. Was Carrefour being unfair, or were all supermarket practices being disrupted? Some customers raised concern about scanning errors, overpriced items, or misleading limited stock deals. Videos circulated online showing receipts that didn't match shelf prices.
The Competition Authority of Kenya has ordered retailer Carrefour to review all its supplier agreements within 30 days after it was found to be facilitating abuse of buyer power. The watchdog has also ordered the French retailer through its franchise holder, Majid Al Futem, to pay a total of 414,000 in the form of reimbursement for unfair rebates it imposed on Orchards Limited within 30 days.
Carrefour responded quickly, issuing refunds, clarifying policies, and promising retraining of staff. But these moments showed that even big brands were not immune to public scrutiny. From Nairobi, Carrefour expanded to Kampala, Kigali, and later to West Africa. In Uganda, they took over spaces previously occupied by ShopRite. The brand introduced modern retail culture to countries where supermarket systems were outdated. In Rwanda, Carrefour became an instant success, partnered with local farmers and improved product variety. In the late 2023 and early 2024, Africa received shocking news. Majid Al Futem was restructuring globally due to financial pressures. Rumors spread about the possible sale or closure of some Carrefour operations in Africa. Kenyans panicked. Carrefour had become part of daily life. Eventually, Majid Al Futem sold its African operation to a different retail investment group, though Carrefour branding remained unchanged. Increased competition from Naivas, Quickmart, Chandarana, Clean Shelf, and neighborhood mini-marts threatened Carrefour's dominance. Supply chain delays caused by local global economic shifts also affect pricing and stock levels. Rising taxation and import restrictions in Kenya have made some Carrefour products more expensive. But despite all these challenges, Carrefour still maintains strong traffic in premium malls. Yes, Carrefour introduced predictable pricing, professional customer service, organized aisles, and digital receipts, forcing competitors to improve. The Kenyan shopper today is more demanding, more informed, and more quality-driven because of modern retail experience shaped by Carrefour. Carrefour remains a key player, but the future is not guaranteed. Kenyan-owned supermarkets are expanding and learning fast. Naivas, Quickmart, and Chandarana have now mastered the formula Carrefour brought in. The real battle will be about pricing, supplier relations, and localized products. The story of Carrefour is a story of ambition, global strategy, and aggressive expansion. It is the story of how one brand entered Kenya at the perfect moment, when the big three were collapsing, and transformed the entire retail landscape. But it is also a story of competition, legal battles, customer expectation, and the challenges of operating in a rapidly shifting African economy. For now, Carrefour remains a powerful force. Whether it continues to dominate will depend on one thing: how well it will understand the African shopper in the years to come.